Welcome back, my humble Hacksball players. Another season of Hacksball, season 26. 5 removed from season 21, only 10, 15 or whatever to season 42, and Gucci Mane comes back. At any rate, we have a draft consisting of 8 rounds this season, same as last season. Lots of drama in and around that, but this will be mostly a draft show of Pardon the Autism. Of course, I am Stapler, and I'm joined by my forever partner in crime.
Prizzle. Just waiting on Priest to come back.
Come on, man. We need you. We're nothing without you.
But this is it's a talent-loaded draft we gotta discuss.
Lots of people were saying, as they do every season, oh, draft's shit, draft's shit. I kind of bought into that hype when I traded out of the first round. I don't know. Lots of interesting shit happened, though. Let's start right at the top, though. El Jefe, first overall. What do you think of that?
I know they were planning to do it.
Yeah, there were whispers.
I guess it's okay. They got WCK and Monscar. But I don't really like the trade for Miles.
I don't like the trade. I like the pick. El Jefe did win 2 of the last 3 cups. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. I think he won the last 2.
Last 2 in a row? Okay. Well, he's certainly established himself. I mean, no one could complain him first overall over Cell or Fruit or anything, but Huskies definitely should have gotten a lot more for that trade. I put even when I voted on that, but it's because they got a lot of depth and they have another pick, but they already had a lot of picks. They had 3 second rounders, and that goes with Miles, who we already traded for. So really, he could have just picked Cell or Fruit or just a top quality player rather than getting a lot of depth. Like, he has Raid and WCK on the same team, which I think is kind of a waste. Both guys show up almost every game and aren't that much different in skill level.
Yeah, I would have tried to get their second overall and maybe like another first, or I mean early second.
They had another first, which they traded for Miles.
Yeah,
I can understand that. Nash played okay with Miles recently on LAHC, with WCK and Zelos.
No,
I don't know,
Miles
on that team.
That was Dash.
But there was 2 separate instances of it, I think. Miles was part of one of those.
No, I was the first one. It's like during that season, I had GM'd and like I stepped down. I think Miles was on Compton that season.
At any rate, everybody was trying to trade for one of those top 4 picks, and it just wasn't happening. That's why I didn't stay in the first round, because all the guys I wanted to build a super team kind of need at least 2 of those. Otherwise, it doesn't really work. So
speaking of the early picks, what did you think about Compass third overall?
Having played against him last season, the hype is warranted. He is very good. I don't know third overall, but he's Turkish, and obviously Iggy gets on with him. So I can see it. I wouldn't do it. I would maybe project him as high second, low first, maybe somewhere like that. I mean, more like Ryland's level of reputation, so to speak. I don't think he's established himself. I mean, he had a really good season, and so did Monskar, the best of his career, and they still only finished like 6th.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Not for me.
I mean, I probably would have took Fruit over him, personally.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Yugi took him because he's Turkish, though. I don't know.
Fruit won the cup with a Hefe, and he's won cups before. There is question marks over his availability. He was saying something about becoming a train conductor. I'm not sure if that's real, but he needs to pass his drug test first. So that's on you, Waddy. 7 watts.
And then next, I would probably say the biggest other surprise would be Rylan.
Yeah, on your team. So I'll let you speak on this first a little bit.
Oh, I have no idea. I have no voice on my team. I was just along for the ride.
Well, I'll give my objective point of view here. Rylan is not a first-round pick. He has been a 6th man fifth man for the Squares the last 2 or 3 seasons. I mean, he is a D1 player, but usually that would be 2 or 3 rounds.
Well, speaking of that, it is kind of odd. He has been a 5th man, but he played in the cup in the semifinals, so I don't know if it's just he fit their system better or
he was playing better than Swish. I think that was not last season, the season before though. Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
season before. He played in the semifinals this season
Yeah,
too, though.
the season before he was playing fantastic, and I actually would say he would be a first round pick. But last season he had career lows in D1 at least. He had like, what was it, half a point per game playing as a forward and mid, maybe even less. I
Mhm.
could look it up, but anyway, it was a career low in D1. I don't know. But to be fair, Afro did play with Rylan before on the Dino bots. No,
Well, last season on the
Addy's team.
squares.
No. Originally, it was like when he first started playing with them. He's had a couple seasons with.
Oh, okay.
That's where it started in D, or I guess it was one division then. Anyways, there's a
I have
history between Rylan and Afro.
I have heard he already wants out though, so we'll see what happens.
Who wants out?
Rylan.
Really? That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I don't know. I've honestly haven't been paying attention too much.
Because he's been picked in the first round based on, past history,
Yeah.
some potential ability. Like I can see it if you have that going behind you, but if he's asking out, that's interesting. That was another problem why I traded out of the first round. You want good players, but you also want some depth. You have to have that balance. Um, let's move to
PK. Wait, hold on. PK. What?
PK back.
Honestly, the gunmen aren't looking very good this season.
PK of the year. No, he
Oh
will
no,
carry.
man! Come on, you know he's washed up.
PK will carry to the promised
You
land.
know he's beyond washed up.
With his, well, we'll see how the macro detection goes this season.
Yeah.
There's also the Pixels pick, which was obviously traded away. We won't beat around the bush with that. Traded away, got some players. Carlitos in, that's good. Let's go to the second round though. Blind's picking Arrow and Dox, and I really do not respect Flossie's drafting ability at all. This has been a couple
No.
seasons now. He picks his guys. He picked Thunder, Arrow, and Dox.
Thunder is fine in the third round though.
Yeah, but I mean, he picks
But
the
yeah.
same guys.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
he's not necessarily trying to draft good players. Thunder was good at that spot, but he would have picked him higher if he didn't have any lower picks.
I did hear. I think Hefe did the Dogs pick, which is I've only seen him play like once.
Really?
And I don't think that's good at all.
He is. I don't know. That'll
That's
far left field. That's out of the stadium. That's in the water outside of the stadium. That pick. Arrow is fine, I guess.
Yeah, I guess
he's not a
that's fine.
second round pick, but
But
sure.
just not many options really.
He wants guys he's gelled with before.
What was the availability on Shot? Was he willing to play for anyone or?
Yeah, dude, I don't know why anyone picked Shot in the first.
Oh yeah,
or
they definitely
round.
should. They definitely should have took. They could have paired Cell and Shot.
I was so surprised. Flossie did not pick.
Oh yeah,
Shot.
that's the blunder then. I don't know why
Blunder
he would pick
of
Dogs.
the century. And then Nape could have picked him over PK. Afro could have picked Shot. I understand Shot not going in the top 4 spots, but he did win Rookie of the Year, and he did do like phenomenally last couple seasons. He took a little break, but yeah.
Well, Shot would have been perfect because I mean the Lions have a big gap at forward number 2 right now.
Yeah, he could have gelled so well with Hefe and Cell. I guess Flossie maybe is forwarding. I don't know.
I don't know. See. I don't think they'll put up a lot of points that way.
No, maybe he's GK and submitting himself to the Hefe mid, and then Thunder is the other forward. Arrow Doc's coming in on days when he can't come in. That's not a cup winning team.
Yeah.
As far as I can see. Cell and Hefe before, when they were when they didn't have another good team around them, was Turtles, and they didn't make the playoffs. I don't know.
Yep. And then moving on, TDA kind of used his last, good season last season to get picked 12th overall.
Yeah. He could have been.
It's a fine pick.
He could have ended up on a different team. I mean, since you were already planning on getting WCK, I don't understand why you pick him with your top pick there.
But WCK has lag issues though.
That is true. Maybe they are hedging their bets on that.
Well, because they brought in 2 players with the Hefe pick, so TDA is good because he can forward in GK.
Right, and he can also forward. Right. Disturb is a good pick. Yeah. Bum Nuggets though. Come on, man. Hash Browns was literally planning on picking Bum Nuggets with the last pick in the draft. That's why he got that 64th overall.
Hash would not get him right there. But Bum is way better than a lot of people in this draft.
He asked Drag for that pick specifically, or was it Keys? I don't remember. But yeah, he asked for that pick specifically to do that.
No, we got to give Bum Nuggets some respect.
He was most improved last year, right?
Honestly, I have no idea. I didn't even check the awards.
It was in his draft info. Pretty funny, but yeah, he's improved a lot. Uh,
D.
I think he's like 8th man on this team somehow, despite being their 4th highest pick in the 2nd round. I don't know.
Yep.
He's a good guy. Good
Luke
pick,
managed
whoever
to
you
get
get
the
him.
last pick of the 2nd round.
I argued a lot for Luke at this spot. Luke deserves a chance in D1 after his heroics last season in D2. You were streaming D2, right?
No.
No? Oh, all right. Did you see any of Luke play?
I've seen him play before. I think he does good at forward sometimes.
It was like before he was just doing okay, and I'd agree with you. But in the playoffs, like he put the team on his back at one point. No joke. Drag admitted that he just didn't want to play him, and then at a certain point in the season, he didn't want to deal with trading him either. It was really an asshole move. Like do one or the other, man. But yeah, he'll feel hard done by, but he's on a D1 team here. I think it's really funny they picked Czech after they beat Czech's team last season
Yeah.
in the playoffs.
Oh, and let's speak of your picks. Does he pick Rainbow Dash? I don't know if he's been playing lately. Probably in the European League. Who
Yeah.
is Vac? Is that a European player?
Yes. Thank you for asking. I have no idea who the kid is.
Oh.
Absolutely no clue. But
Did
Pixels and Robodach tell me he's good.
Okay.
And I had a spare pick, so I figure what the hell. I
Oh
could have
yeah.
picked my boy Chance. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
I could have picked Yahoo or Josh, but I went for the left field pick. Had to
And
gamble.
then you went with NJ. Now is
Yeah.
NJ going to be making an impact on your team or?
He's a locker room presence. No, just kidding. But he said he's gonna be sober this season.
I mean,
So,
dude, I remember not last season, but season before when the Lions played the Pixies, he just looked beyond awful.
well,
So I don't know.
we're gonna need him to replicate his Bears form. He's gonna be swapping time with me at forward. Hopefully, Vac comes good.
Oh yeah, are you planning to stay in the lineup or?
I don't even know. So after I traded for Nantes, which I wasn't even aware was gonna happen, before that, I was planning on me and NJ swapping time. I have 3 first-round picks the next season. Comfy. It's all good. Now, I kind of have to win. Yeah,
Wait,
Nantes.
who
I
is
don't
your
know what's
mid?
happening now. I don't know. I have 3D forwards, 3 CPs, and a GK. So, I don't know. Maybe there's a trade I can do, or maybe waivers later. I was planning on Blade at mid before the draft once I traded for him. Him and Shot also asked about playing mid, and Shot can certainly play there. So we'll see what happens. I might go like Shot mid, Blade D forward, Nantes CP, and he can just fuck around or whatever.
I think your team
Uh,
might struggle to score. I don't know. Maybe we'll
with
see how the
I don't
back guy
know.
is.
We'll see how this comes together. Vac could also mid according to Pixels. I don't know. These
Okay.
European players seem to go either CP or mid a lot of the time. Like Style, I think. He wasn't comfortable at D forward, but at TP he was fine.
That's
So like
true.
they have the on-ball skills that are lacking here, which is why they all seemed comfortable at mid.
Let's look at some of the D2 picks. Were you
Yeah, let's
surprised
keep moving
nobody
on.
took a flyer on Waza after his cup win?
Waza's always Waza. He's
Yeah.
above average,
I don't
definitely.
know
He's
about
got
that.
for D2. You kidding?
Oh, okay. Maybe D2.
He's above average. He's maybe average for D1. I won't talk shit. I won't talk shit. He's a consistent player because he's consistently inconsistent. He
Yeah.
he always was as it, so to speak.
Besides that, we saw Yahoo didn't go to D1.
No.
Bob got picked up late, which is, I mean, that's a fine pick. Red somehow lasted that long.
Yeah,
I mean,
Red lasted long. I don't know. Maybe it's his rep.
I mean, he has a. I'm not gonna say anything.
I don't know. He's a good player, and he was just as recently as 2 seasons ago playing against Lindros in a fucking epic playoff
Semifinal, yeah.
series. I don't know. He seems to drift. We'll see what happens with the keys this season. They've got Nilo, Red, Plug, Real,
Wait,
Anon.
with all the picks you have, I really would have picked Josh instead of NJ.
I gave my boy a promise. I was gonna pick Josh. My finger was on the trigger. I literally had it on draft player. and I considered trading for him. He's not going to show up really that much, except for playoffs, which is why Squares picked him.
Well, yeah,
They have enough depth. I don't know.
he might be the best GK in the league right now. I mean, I don't know who else. Maybe under his back
PK.
GK. No PK. No.
Fruit. But yeah, he's certainly in that discussion. It would have been nice picking Irv. Maybe made a mistake. We'll see how Vac goes. If I'll be proven right with that left field pick.
Oh, and later on picks. Who the hell is Emma? I've been seeing this person post
I
a
don't
lot.
know.
I have no idea who this person is. So.
Apparently, they played for the pitch season 11, and they know who I am somehow. I don't know who they are really.
Okay.
As they started posting, they started like shit posting when they only had
Yeah.
like 10 posts total, which is like, this has to be a multi or something, but it's not like they're a player. I don't know. We'll see.
Also, Osculator wasn't able to get picked up by a D1 team.
Yet again, he's a D2 lifer now.
I
He's
mean,
gonna end up cut. Book it, dude.
You know, the gunmen need a mid right now.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They're not signing. Oh, wait, no, they have Chinny. Best in game.
What? Okay, that's the thing with the gunmen, actually. I think they're gonna. I mean, they have to make a move really bad.
Yeah, I don't know
They-
what kind of move, but they got to make a move of some kind.
They have too
PK,
many dead
Pixels.
players. If Pixels and PK are dead, and Chinny.
PK could easily have signed up as a troll.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Agilities will play. Mesut Özil is underrated. I'm glad he got to D1. He was one of the few players like Luke and Yahoo I was looking at that deserved a chance.
Well, he was in D1 last season. I mean, he played like what?
I
20
mean, as
minutes?
a starter. I mean, hopefully he
I
can get
don't
it.
know. He seems like a player that can dub, but doesn't know how to pass or play with his head.
I feel like with a full season, he might come good in that sort of respect. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. But yeah, I agree with you. Question marks over the gunmen. I don't see them repeating this season.
Who else?
Unrelated, but semi-related. I think it's funny how many teams were going to Negbro, Lindros, El Diablo, just asking about forming the super team. Like, it had to be at least 4 or 5 different guys, including me.
Oh, I can't imagine.
It was just very funny. I'm sure Lindros is just seeing all these PMs rack up. Anyway, where are we going?
Let's see. I mean, Roll got picked up pretty late by the Pixies.
Yeah, that was a solid pick. I'm ready for the Pixies to lose in the finals again. Drag was really trying hard to convince me to trade for his second rounder guaranteed next season.
Wait, so is Jeff
when it's
gonna
like a
play
6th or whatever.
in D2, or what's
Yes.
happening with the Mayberries?
Jeff
What
will
about Spart?
play. I don't know about Spart. I haven't seen him talk in the kick chat in a while.
Oh, he hasn't been on since the 24th.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. You know, those guys could just die off or immediately come back at a drop of a hat.
I mean, I was saying you should trade for him last season. It would have made your team.
I considered it.
But he might have died off anyway.
I don't know. Can't trust Spar. Sorry, bro.
Any other picks you see?
Supreme Sluts have the best logo and team name, but their team is Cookie, Emma, Gleg, KPA, Mango Man, and Tiago. Admittedly, a couple of these guys are changed. Like, you would know them if I said their previous name, but it just makes it better that you've never heard of any of these people.
Well, the Mayberries are going to stat pad that team so hard.
Yeah, Zelos, Waza, I guess Camel is the starter for Jeff. But Jeff has a first and second round pick that I gave him.
I mean, I'd be surprised if they even show up most of the time.
Well, I'm getting a message
User
here.
Joined your channel.
We've got a special guest for you. We've got none other than UK's very own Renbodech. Welcome to the show.
Good evening. Good evening. Lovely to be with you as always, Stapler. What have you got for us? What have you got for me?
Well, we're just finishing up the first part of our show, the draft recap. What do you make of the draft?
It's a bit of a weird one. I mean, once you've seen Bum Nuggets get drafted in the second round, I mean, it's kind of hard to top that in terms of stuff you don't expect.
Well, to be
put it
fair, the
that way.
season before, Addy trolled a redraft and he picked Mango Man, Breadman, and Kevin M31 with his
Oh.
first 3 picks.
Christ, I'm glad I wasn't
So-
there to see
And
that.
Bum Nuggets did manage a dub shot in an actual game last season. So
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know,
you can
but-
talk shit about it, but he's not a bad player.
Second round, though? I mean,
Yeah, we did
considering...
discuss him. He was the 3rd in our list of players with question marks over him. But I mean, he's like the 7th man or something now on the Huskies after they did a trade for Monskar and WCK.
I mean, I suppose, but you'd think
Nash
maybe
could have drafted better, though, to be fair.
His other picks were fine though.
Yeah. His team is Bum Nuggets, Disturb, Monskar, Miles Nash, TDA, WCK. It's not exactly a team that, like, you want to put up in lights or anything. It's not going to win the cup. But it's a comfy team. They won't get relegated.
Who do you think is going to get relegated then? Well, we're looking at the Turtles, obviously, but they've got Compass back.
They have Compass back, so I think they're safe.
Is he that good? I mean, apologies, but I've not really seen much of him. I mean, I've heard that he's probably one of the best new players around, but
He's above average.
above average. Is that worth being
No,
drafted number 3?
no, it's not.
He's about
No.
as good as Disturb.
Yeah,
Hmm.
a good comparison there.
I mean, especially when you see yourself, Prizzle, and then Pixels being drafted later on. I mean,
Yeah.
I question that pick. I mean, the first 2 look to be pretty sound.
Pixels is the new Kiss Kiss, though, so you can't really take at face value where he's picked. It's always in context. You have to have enough picks alongside him in case he, Kiss Kisses it and just doesn't play.
I don't know. I don't quite. I can see part of that comparison, but I don't know. He's not quite as toxic as Kiss Kiss.
No,
and
no,
he's
no.
not as good
he
as
doesn't.
Kiss
He doesn't
Kiss.
talk really on the forums. He doesn't post very much.
He's a strange character, though. I'll grant you that, and definitely. I get the point about you wanting to have another player that can get the best out of him to make it worth your time drafting him.
And that player in this situation, the guy next to me in this channel, Frizzle, it's on you to get
Well,
Pixels.
yeah.
Oh, wait,
no,
did you already
he's not
trade
on
him?
our yeah, we traded him for Carlitos.
Oh yeah, I already forgot about this. Frizzle
Well,
dodged the
Why did
bullet.
he do that, by the way? That seems a bit of a puzzler.
And why did Afro have to toss in a 4th to
Yeah, I don't-
trade one of the best forwards of all time for Carlitos?
I don't
Who's
think he-
really good, but I mean,
Yeah, people make fun of you all the time for your trade, Stapler, but this one really baffled me. I
Yeah.
mean, it just seemed like
I
an
would have
act
thought
of
the 4th had to be on the other
self-sabotage.
side. I don't know.
I don't think he needed to trade the 4th, but I mean Carlitos is worth the 7th overall pick, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Carlitos is a good guy. So.
Yeah, if you put it in that sort of context, I mean, if Carlitos was on the draft and he was picked 7th, I don't think anyone would question that at that point.
Nah.
At this point.
I think it's just Pixels last season he didn't play until playoffs, and that was because they really needed him.
As far as the relegation question, though, the original question, my top 3 for relegation. Number 1 would be the Elite 4,
Yeah.
purely because they were the D2 team last season, and Luciano's got to prove himself. Crow's their starting mid, and he's never been a starter in D1 before. So,
Well, he did outplay one of the SPHP's greatest of all time mids in the D2 finals, so
Well-
I wouldn't be too hasty to prejudge. I'd say he's got quite a bit going for him. I mean, he's not a bad player, and I remember him played a final series against him in season 13. It was pretty good. I mean, I could only wish that I had my best player who wasn't off getting drunk finals
Who
night
was
that
that?
day, but I was aware of his talent. I mean, he's
Okay.
a good player, and
Okay. I'll give him some credit. Crow got his team promoted. That is quite an accomplishment when only one team gets promoted now. And then my second team to get relegated, though, I debated about this, but I'm going to go with the Gunmen.
I know, I agree. I was thinking the same thing.
Unless Nape can get all these personalities like actually playing, not even just toxic people playing together. It's different getting toxic people to show up on the field. Haxbob, Shinny, PK, Pixels, half of your team has question marks over even showing up in the first place. I mean, It doesn't matter how good a man manager you are if the guy doesn't show up in the first place. So Gunman is my second favorite pick here
Oh,
to
I wouldn't
relegate.
write them off. I wouldn't write them off. I mean, especially when you.
And Ape's
I
a good
mean,
GM. He'll trade for something and make this team instantly prove me wrong. But for now, they're right there. And then Huskies would be my third favorite. I have them finishing like 6th, maybe.
you're not considering perhaps the enemy alliance, or think they're
What?
going to be strong this time?
The Lions? No, they're not
I don't
getting
know.
relegated. Absolutely not. El Jefe? No.
I know, but I'd say there's a non-zero chance of that team falling apart for one reason or another.
Ah.
I mean, I
well-
know on paper they should be good. Cell, Aero, El Jefe, that really should be a good team. But if once you take one of those players out of it, I mean, they do look quite vulnerable because I'm not really hot on any of the other players taking their places, so to speak.
Yeah, we were discussing Docs as a questionable second round pick. Prizzle's mentioning maybe it was a Jefe pick.
That's what I heard in the chat.
Well,
It seems a bit strange if so.
they're certainly projected at the very most like play-in spots, I guess. 4th, 5th, maybe 3rd, if we're I don't know.
I mean,
If
I
they-
know they've got the talent to be challenging for the title, but they could easily go south the other way. I mean,
Yeah,
considering
considering all
their
that.
personalities.
Honestly, if they just pick Shot, they would probably be the second best team right now.
Yeah, I still can't get why.
Because they just have that big hole at second forward. I don't think Flossie can fill it. I think he's going to be a GK, but
Yeah, it's gonna
mean,
be Flossie GK, I bet, or El Jefe, but
I don't
something
know.
like that, and then Arrow or Thunder as
I
the
don't-
D forward.
I don't know if he'll hold up at GK though against the best teams. I mean, we'll see. I mean, he can generally play all positions, but
Yeah,
I'm not
I don't
really a
know.
fan of Thunder as a player either. He's a bit.
Are you
shaky, I'd
joking?
have said.
I mean Thunder is a nutcase, but the dude, when he cares, he's carried teams single-handedly to playoffs.
In Division 1?
In Division
I
1 and Division 2, he carried Pax Bob's
What
Bob
was that?
Carts. I don't know if you remember the team that literally killed Tim Duncan of soccer because of all the forfeits that got Shaolin out of the playoffs. That was Thunder's team, essentially. And then in D2, he helped Hipsters get into the playoffs before. He helped, what was it, Apes? I think he was on the Apes Cup winning team in D2. D1 or D2, he's kind of like Otis.
Yeah, he
in that
was.
He sometimes just turns it on and becomes elite, whereas the rest of the time he doesn't really do much.
You don't think he's going to irritate El Jefe at all? I don't know. I think
Oh, I swear to God,
I think
wanna be in that
Hefe's
locker room.
definitely going to find fault with him somewhere. I mean, he does have his.
They could become the
flaws.
best of friends.
well, they
knows?
played
They
together a little bit last season. Thunder is good, but I don't think they can rely on him for a whole season. I don't think he just cares enough.
He doesn't play Wednesdays.
Ah.
And I don't think he's 100% on Mondays and Tuesdays either. He'll come for
They're
the
gonna-
playoffs if they make it.
I think if they're going to put in a real challenge, they'll need Aero playing in the big games and playing with sub 200.
No.
because
Are you just defending him because he's British? I mean, when has he really turned it on in Division 1?
Well, I don't know. He's just the better player for me. And
He's
him at
better
his
than
best.
Thunder.
Him at his Aero at his best is better than Thunder at his best.
Okay, well, let's go off the 5 seasons Arrow's now played in Division 1. All right, we have exactly 1 season with a positive plus minus. And we have exactly 2 seasons with above 1 PPG. I mean, these aren't exactly high standards, and he's only had 1 season with more than 100 minutes.
Well,
So
that's why I add the qualifiers of having good ping really, because he's.
if you're talking
played...
shit about Thunder showing up, Arrow is exactly the same. He shows up
yeah,
drunk,
that's
like
the,
3 a.m. or whatever it is for you.
I know I ought to add those qualifiers, but that's why I add the qualifier. If he can show at his best, he's a very
Well,
good player.
he's never done it before, and Thunder has. So for now, at least, I'm giving Thunder the benefit of the doubt. But certainly, Arrow might end up playing more than Thunder, purely for availability issues. So I'm just admiring Arrow's GIF right now, his signature GIF. He's just dub shouting on people. Yeah, if Arrow can show that, they could be a contender. top
Well,
3 team.
who are the contenders for you two right now? I mean, the Squares obviously are, right?
Squares, I personally created that team. I don't know how I feel about that. They did already have Chewbacca, and then everyone allowed them to pick Josh. Then they drafted Jizz and Bieber. So I have something of a verbal agreement with Hash Browns about Beamus showing up. He has to show up like half the season and then one playoff game. I have question marks over if he's actually going to be able to do that. If Beamus shows up, then they have a real mid, and the
Oh,
team's going to be like the season 19 team with T90.
I assumed
Like-
he was going to show up, but I mean, Beamo's a good player.
He hasn't
He does
actually
have to be
logged
the
in
weak spot,
for
though,
like.
right?
He hasn't
I
logged in for a
wouldn't. I
week.
wouldn't compare him favorably to T90 though.
No, I'm saying this team becomes like that team with Bima in the lineup because he's a real mid. I'm not saying Bima is T90-esque, if that makes sense.
Out of the 4, he is the weakest, though, and at mid, that's going to be hard.
Yeah, but he did get the Squares to the finals before with like Swish at forward.
Mm-hmm.
So with Star and Under back, and Chewbacca around, and Josh around, maybe Under becomes the mid, to be honest, and then
It wouldn't surprise me.
Josh becomes GK. That team might be more have more firepower.
I think though you'd want to play Under in his best position.
Yeah, certainly. Going back to the Squares, he's going to want to go back to his tried and true bread and butter GK position.
Well, I'd rather
Well,
him play GK, because I don't really like his mid, but that's just me.
Yeah, Prizzle speaking from experience here, seeing as we tried that.
Well, I mean, if you put Josh, you're not... Under doesn't really use his GK as a mid, which is kind of odd, because he's a GK himself.
Yeah, he likes to play quite an aggressive
I
style.
don't know what you're
as
talking about, bruh.
Huh?
At mid, he used you. He used you.
No, because he plays more like a T90 kind of style.
Oh,
would
I
say.
see. He did back pass a lot, and there was some vertical passing, but you're
Yeah,
right. He
more
was
like
very
a
aggressive in the
Pressure.
corners.
I'm not saying it's a bad choice. I'm just
No,
saying
I
that's his
understand.
style,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Is El Jefe like that as well?
He does. I don't really see him use his GK either. I mean, I think he thinks he does, but he's too slow. He plays more back though than
No,
Under.
I don't think it's part of his game. I don't think he wants to use the GK a lot. I think he wants to force people to stay in the corner as much as possible, just grind out those victories.
Yeah.
I think El Jefe's a little bit more progressive than you give him credit for.
Yeah,
I mean, it depends who he's
not a
working
simple
with.
mid.
Okay, but besides the Squares, do y'all have anyone else
Okay.
as a contender, or is it just pretty much
After Squares getting first, which is locked up, after that it's a toss-up. I mean, the Lions, I just traded for Nantes, so I guess I have to be in the discussion now. But
I don't know.
you-
You don't have a
we don't have a mid
yeah.
dedicated yet, so I'd say we're like projected 4th, 3rd for now until we sort that out. I don't know. I guess your team, Prizzle.
Do you think
Lack
we
of
are though?
options, really. Purely lack of alternatives. I mean, the Staplers, Lions, and Spartans, I'd say are 2, 3, 4. But I don't know in what order. If Diablo shows
is
up,
El Diablo going to be showing up to any games?
not right now. Everything I'm hearing is that's a negative. But still, Prizzle, Carlitos, Afro. I don't know if Rylan is in that. What position is he playing in? D forward, I guess, right?
I would imagine D forward.
I don't think he's ever played there really. On Squares, he was CP and mid, pretty much
mean,
exclusively.
Carl can play either.
Yeah,
what
he wanted to play GK, but he might have to switch it up a little bit. He's certainly gonna have to trade for people.
Do you think the Turtles have a shot though? I think if they just got a GK, they would be set
Yes.
for a solid team. Like they're basically going to be like the same as last season, but
Yeah.
just with more talent at the forward position.
Yeah.
Are they going to play Yiggy as the midfielder? Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what he
he's
did last
mid
season.
again.
They were really hard to score on. They just like grind games out.
I think Turtles did improve slightly, but I think the rest of the league is also slightly improved. It's pretty competitive this season, I think, compared to last season, even though it was a redraft, which is weird.
Well, what do you think of your own team, Rainbow Dash?
Okay.
I'm pretty happy
Evan-
with it. Considering it's a stapler team, I'm pretty impressed by what he's been able to get together. I mean, a lot of people say, he traded away all his firsts, but looking at it objectively, it's quite strong. I think having Nont as well, he traded well for him. I think if he was in the draft, he definitely would have gone first round, possibly even ahead of Cell. I don't know. I'm not sure how the rest of the league rates him, but I have him up there in that category. So
For all our
cautiously
listeners,
optimistic at the moment.
Ren, so you're the only one here in the entire league, pretty much, besides like Pixels and maybe Lindros, I guess, that can speak about Vac.
Yeah, I don't know
Who
who
is this
guy
guy
is.
I drafted? I don't even know him.
Vac is probably
Comparing to
one
some
of
players.
the most exciting, relatively newish UK players they've been. I mean, from about 2013, the best players from the UK had pretty much been Madud and whoever else he's played with, i.e. Jai, Aero, Psych
Right.
Out, Ogre. And it's only really Vakoi who's come from outside that, who's been able to show the sort of the creativity and also the intelligence to actually play well, because the UK's had a lot of players who, not to beat about the bush, are complete retards, like Swift. I mean, we've had skillful players, but not ones who've been able to utilize their ability to actually play well in matches. Badass is another one. But Vac, he's the real deal, I'd say. It all depends how much he's going to be able to turn up and how much, what his ping he can play in. But I think he can turn a few heads in Division 1 if he's able to play at all.
A plus for him would be that we have Nantes, arguably the best host in the league.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Fantastic. If I can get under 120, he should be able to do similar. And it'll definitely be tough to face. I mean, I know this probably sounds like UK bias again, but if I were to compare any player from SPHB to Vac,
And before Nika P.
I was going to say Negbro, but
Oh.
yeah.
Damn. Negbro?
What's his
Yeah.
playstyle like? Is he like selfish, like like going for the dubs and everything, or is he like a team passing around, just all around
I mean,
player? Or...
he does like to bring out the skills, but he doesn't do it all the time. I mean, he's
Oh, I see.
pretty well decently aware of when to use. I mean, he probably still uses the dubs a little bit too much, but he doesn't just eschew the passing option. I mean, he does like to mix it up a bit.
Not as
So
much
for
as style, right?
predictable.
Ren, if we're talking like archetype, we have Kiss Kiss, who goes for the hero play 10 times out of 10, and it works sometimes, and he looks amazing. Then we have Negbro at the opposite end, who he's kind of really efficient, but he does have skill moves. He's a pure forward. And then we have Nika, who's sort of like
The
in
best
between
passer.
all-arounder. He can pass really well, and he does all the stuff well.
Yeah, I'd still say he's
So Negbro more than the
closer
other
to the Negbro end of the
Okay,
scale.
interesting. Might have to try him at mid. I mean, Negbro could play mid before. He did for Spurs,
He
I
has
think.
played as the DM in or in Big East here. It's not his favourite position, but he knows the ins and outs of it.
Huh. Well, we need to get him in for Reverse World. Maybe re-estimate our power rankings. 2 weeks.
Well, you know where he is.
All right. What was the we got 2 more things to talk about, or 1 more thing, Prizzle?
Oh, we haven't talked about the waiver order.
Yeah.
Like, how do y'all
Oh
think it
boy.
should work? Because my opinion was, I would give last place team first waiver. I mean,
Just how
it
it's
makes
always
sense
been.
to me. Yeah, it just makes sense to me.
Yeah, it would just be silly giving it to.
As long as Nape doesn't get it, I'm pretty good.
Well, it looks like it's either gonna be that or randomize it. I mean, how do y'all feel
yeah,
about that?
So the options, I'll lay them out.
I'd make sure had to have all the playoff teams at the back, and then perhaps they randomize the non-playoff teams.
Oh,
That would be sound.
And the promoted team, or how would you do that?
yeah,
I don't know.
put them with
maybe
the
put the
non-playoff.
promoted team first, the playoff teams at the back, and then randomize the rest. But randomizing anything else would be a bit silly. Either that, or just do the same as draft. That also works. But
We're kind of past the days of like NJ putting together the Bears, getting Nika in the first week. I don't see that happening this season. So I don't think there's really an issue with the Huskies having the first waiver. It would be ideal. I have always maintained that 2 weeks in, you go off the current standings. It's the most fair way. But people want to sign up earlier than that because they don't like the draft or whatever autistic reasons. So we have to acquiesce to their demands.
Or perhaps you could actually put your foot down and say people who signed up for the last draft should be ineligible for signing up for the next waivers. I mean, that's what I did for
Wait,
when I was
explain that again?
adminning. Well, when I was adminning Prem Hacks, I don't do that anymore, but I had a rule whereby if you signed up or if you played any more than 3 games last season and you didn't sign up for the next draft, you were ineligible to play. And that's what Falk wanted to do, so I banned him from playing.
Wow.
And yeah, everyone was pretty happy with that, and I think such a rule would kind of work and sort of say to the people at SPHB, you're not allowed to just bend the rules to your advantage. I mean, we have a draft for a reason. Anyway, that's just what I would do. I mean, I know people aren't so sensible as me.
You're kind of breaking up here, Ren. Like in the middle of your talking, it's like stopping. Might want to move your mic closer or lower the volume a wee bit.
I did zone out a little bit there.
Is that a bit better?
Yeah, it's fine.
That's way better.
Yeah, apologies. It happens. My mic in TeamSpeak for some reason. Nowhere else. Anyway, sorry. What did you catch up to? I was talking about
Well, yeah, that was an interesting.
how the draft
I
works.
definitely don't see that happening in SPHB. Banning based
well.
on you played last season, there would be chaos and uproar. But let me lay out the ones that I'm pretty sure I know are being voted on. There's draft order, reverse draft order. Draft order is being championed by like I think Flossie. Reverse draft order is Nape. Hash Browns has a weird idea where the middle teams go first, and then you go out from that. So
that does kind of
Turtles,
benefit Hash though, because I mean,
Yeah,
he'll have a decent waiver.
he'll have a decent waiver. He won't have a bad or good one. I mean, Turtles go first. I thought Turtles should go first when Compass was banned, but now he's unbanned. There doesn't really seem to be a reason for that. And then the randomized one, I don't think is getting any support.
No,
And then I also don't think my idea and Cookie's original one is 2 weeks in, you do it based on standings. I don't think that's getting support either because it's too late, and all these retards who want to avoid the draft want to come play. So I think it's most likely to be draft order, if I'm perfectly honest here.
I mean, that wouldn't be so bad.
It wouldn't be so bad.
Why who's deciding it anyway? Surely they should just...
The staff are voting on it.
Why do they need to vote? Just ask Scooter to do it.
they're having a discussion right now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They're still discussing it, and the
You see,
vote started
if I was
before the
if
draft.
I was admin, I'd have probably just said, right, this is how we do it, and everyone else get lost. To be honest, because
Well, Nape
it's dragged on for far too long.
Nape has some retard ideas, but to be fair, he does listen to the people when there is uproar most of the time, like unbanning Compass. I don't think that was necessarily the right idea. He should have banned before the draft. But anyway, he does listen to the people. So
Is that necessarily a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, you
I
could
don't know.
say
It's a thing, though.
you could say, oh, that's bad because it shows he doesn't have confidences in his decisions. I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but I mean, necessarily listening to the people, is it always a good thing?
No.
No.
In this case, yes. SPHB definitely likes
In
having
this
a
case,
staff.
I guess maybe.
Well, it's among the staff, so it's not just like a general vote. I don't know. I think it just makes sense to do reverse draft order. I mean, the best teams right now are basically the playoff teams from last season. So if you have a draft to have parity, I think you need to keep it this way. I don't know.
So that would mean having Austin Gumman pick first, or
Oh no. Huskies first.
Huskies first. Okay. So I think we're all on board with that at least. Safely.
I mean, it just makes sense to me.
Okay.
And if you look at the teams right now, they're not loaded either, so you're not creating that Nick-a-P situation.
I don't know if there's very much we can discuss really about waiver order until we understand exactly what has transpired in the private staff discussions.
Mhm.
We can maybe revisit that once it has been decided and anything relevant comes of that. Let's go to our last segment. Gonna have a little fun segment. Who do you
Yeah.
think is gonna break out this season?
And actually, I forgot to discuss it with this. Let's do a preseason pick for MVP.
Yeah, we can do a few of those as
For a
well.
few of
But
those, like
breakout
the major
players
awards.
and major notable players this season.
Okay, I'll let
Who's-
you start because I haven't thought of mine yet.
Well, for starters, I see Fruit
What? Fruit?
for the first 3 weeks before he fails his drug test. I see him being the best forward in the league for the first 3 weeks. He will lead the charts in either goals or assists.
But is it a breakout season if he was just in the cup and, on the squares last season?
You also said players for awards and stuff. He will be leading the
Okay.
discussions for Offensive Player of the Year or MVP for 3 weeks. And then
3
he's either
weeks.
going to go dead or he's going to fail his drug test and still play but lose heart. So
I'm gonna go for Elite Four. I'm gonna pick Crow as my breakout player.
Crow.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. All right.
They're definitely
have
gonna need him to step up.
I
Not
have to
'cause he's-
agree, to be honest. I'd say Crow most likely to
Not Vec?
make an impact. Well, that only because I'm not sure how much he's going to be able to show. I mean,
All right.
Crow, he's going to be there every. Vac, I don't know. If he were to show every game, I'd pick him, but I don't know. I think he'll make an impact in a couple of games, but he's not going to be able to show for every game. I don't think so.
I have a question. So, of the D2 players, or historically D2 players who got picked in the for D1 teams, Mesut Özil, Rylan isn't really a D2 player anymore. Luke, Dox, of these kind of guys, who's going to do the best? Not necessarily break out, but do the best.
Jesus Christ.
I would say Luke, but I mean he's on one of the worst teams.
Yeah, he might
I
not be
dunno,
done any
it's-
I don't
favors
know.
on defense.
Is Luke any different to how he was a year ago?
Yeah, he's been playing
Maybe
pretty
slightly
well.
better.
He was quite a frustrating player to play with,
Yeah.
really. I mean, maybe that was just because he was
You were on the
literally
worst
14.
team in D2. Come on, give him a break. If I'm remembering this team you were on with him, right? Weren't you like
It wasn't quite the worst.
was a green
I mean,
team.
it was in the bottom half of teams. But
right?
I don't know. Luke was, I don't know. He was one of the players holding it back at that point. I mean,
What-
I'm
Well,
not going
he
to
was
mince my
a
words.
player on top team in D2 last season.
Last season. So alright,
and
okay, he's improved. He's improved.
What about Bum
Yeah.
Nuggets? Maybe he'll merge for the Huskies.
Yeah,
Who
maybe he
knows?
will. Maybe he'll be a
Monster with lag
starting forward.
issues. You know?
Yeah, I could totally see that happen. Monskar starts lagging. They put Bum Nuggets in. He scores a hat trick.
Yeah.
Goes on the Window Cup. Fairy tale season.
That could definitely
Jamie Bum
happen.
Nuggets Vardy.
Alright, let's also
A couple more
preseason
award
MVP
things.
picks
Yeah, yeah.
for D1 and D2. I was gonna pick Oscar later, but I saw he's on the Pixies, so let's see. Give me a minute.
I see the Harlem Bike Thieves.
Harlem Bike Thieves. I love the fact
Pavelski.
that I love the fact that team name's come back. It's been too long.
Apple wins GM of the Year for the best
fuck
logo.
off. That's not gonna happen. Apple's gonna find a way to run this team into the ground.
No, but he
No.
has Diego, he has Chance, and Sean, and Foxy, and I don't know, man.
Actually, I know who I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick Zaytoven as MVP.
Ooh, yeah, Colorado Stoners. I could see them going far here. Dan, aka Tavares, is picked fucking awful, but
Actually, I do
Crumbler,
kind of want to pick
Tav, Zaytoven, and Flu
Flu.
were
Zaytoven or
amazing.
Flu is my pick.
Flu should have won MVP last season, I think. He was amazing. He had 1.2 PPG, 1.95 GAA, +7, plus minus. Storm, I think they didn't end up with second, but they should have. Along with Oskim, Flu was just amazing. On a team that basically bust and won every game 1-0, to get above 1 PPG is just amazing to me.
I mean, do you have any other
And
pick? Or
you're not going to pick any of the Mayberries players, are you?
No, Mayberries will not win the cup. Jeff has a curse. He doesn't win cups. He does. He has like career seasons, and then something goes wrong. It's like when he was on the Hacks Bob team, the Bob Carts or whatever it was, with El Jefe and Chewbacca and WCK, I think. When you have a good team and it's with Jeff, he will do amazing, but they won't win. I don't know why. It's like with Mayberries. He had Nantes and Spart and Rex, and they didn't win. They didn't even make playoffs. It was weird.
How you can't win Division? What
Maybe
was
it's
that?
Jeff's
Division
season,
1
though.
or Division? That was Division 1, right? Not Division 2.
That was Division 1 with Jefe.
Oh,
and
okay.
maybe it was
Oh,
one
yeah,
division
okay.
at the time. I don't remember.
Okay, what about D1?
By the way,
maybe
Jeff
Hash
is my.
Browns.
By the way,
Hash Browns
Jeff,
would be
my
nice.
pick for D2 Offensive Player of the Year. Anyway, sorry, Hash Browns.
Yeah, Hash Browns for MVP. I can see he's
Hash
got a
Browns.
good team.
You sure with his team under and Star not getting the MVP pick?
Well, it depends how he plays, isn't it?
He
I mean,
plays the
he's
same way every single season.
And it's effective. He gets goals all the time.
But I mean, you can't pick him for MVP purely because every season's the same.
Why not? What if he play? What if he
How
just
good
plays?
his team does
What if he
is based on other
plays the
guys.
way he plays and just does it better? I mean,
That doesn't
maybe
happen.
stylistically he doesn't change, but he might
No,
just
not even
over and above them.
stylistically. Like with his PPG as well. Like, let me look at this.
But
I'm
it's changed quite a
99%
bit.
sure he's had within a 0.5 margin the exact same PPG.
That's not true. I mean,
Let me look at this.
24 it was 201, and then the next season it's 102. So it's usually between about. It can be between low ones to low twos. There's quite a bit of
Okay, there's some
oscillation.
variance there.
What about Yugi as a repeating MVP? Could you see it?
No, that is not happening. That was a pity pick.
Not on that team.
That was a pity pick. They finished in 5th place. You can't give him MVP. Mid of the year, I can kind of see, but El Jefe should have won it.
Why do you call it of the year anyway when you have 4 seasons?
Because it's American
everywhere?
sports. Even if we think in our heads it's of the year, it is true. It's just a season that's like 2 weeks long. But we like to cosplay. We like to role play that it's like real sports or whatever. We have a draft. We have podcasts. Pardon the autism, but
actually,
this is real.
I'm gonna pick myself
nice
because I'm not gonna make Wednesdays, so my team is gonna look bad when I'm not there.
Oh
so
yeah,
it's
you're
gonna
plus
look like
minus.
I'm carrying. Because we don't have any depth, so it's gonna look like I'm carrying. So I'm gonna pick myself.
Oh man. Yeah, I'll go along with that. Prizzle for mid of the year. That's happening. Just because it's plus minus is gonna look just amazing.
Well, he's better deliver. Now you said so.
Who else could win? Could you see Cell winning, maybe? Like carrying the offensive load?
He has a worse team this season, so it might be easier for him to shine. I had a problem with him last season because it didn't seem like he was doing anything above and beyond the rest of the team. Like El Diablo was obviously the best player there for me.
I thought Cell was the best.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe Cell, this is his season and he will win MVP. If the Lions finish once a first or second, like you have to give it to somebody on that team.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, if all 4 players sort of contribute equally, and there's a standout player on the team that's 4th, I mean, that's kind of a different situation, isn't it, Stapler? I mean, isn't MVP meant to be the player who has performed the best? Or am I not getting it right? I don't know how you give out what the rationale for awards is on.
It's a combination of who you're tired of voting for, who you pity, who you don't like,
who your
did
teammates
okay.
are.
Yeah, who your teammates are. Vac might be on my MVP watch list. I've never seen him play, but
he could be out of left field. He might win Rookie of the Year. He's my pick for Rookie of the Year.
Well, I mean, what's his competition?
there's always a competition. Luke, Mesut Ozil probably didn't have enough minutes last season. Docs, There's some
Okay, yeah.
competition.
Okay, there's some people.
Yeah.
Well, if Fak plays more than 8 games, he should. To be honest.
He's pretty much got it locked up just by virtue of playing enough games with that.
I mean, wasn't there one season where Negbro won Rookie of the Year
Yeah.
because
He'd never
he'd
played.
not played in SPHB
Yeah.
before?
Yeah.
Exactly. It'll be exactly like that. And Compass last season, who'd played in the Turkish leagues for years, apparently.
Oh,
So,
that's nonsense. Absolute
He's probably
nonsense.
MLT.
I don't know, dude.
Unless-
He's really good at hacking. So, it makes sense to me.
Did he live in Turkey before?
Yeah.
Or was he? Okay. Well, he might have done actually, but I don't know.
Here, I have a
I
pick.
think that
Small
Go on.
stick of the year will ooh.
I could see people voting Pixels if he shows up, or Chinny, if either of those.
Chinny already has one.
I mean, I'm always down to vote
that's
for
not going to
Chinny.
stop him.
You never
I
know.
think Nape should get another one.
Dan?
Maybe
Nate's
Nape's
season.
going to be in the contention. I
Yeah,
think
he'll
El
get some
Jefe
votes.
will find his way to get on the list.
I don't know.
because-
Flossie might have a calming influence on him. I feel like that might be good for Hefe.
Nah, El Jefe always gets nominated. I mean, he can't help himself. I don't think.
He hasn't won it yet, though. So
I know.
maybe Hefe's
Maybe
year.
this is his year. I mean, even if he doesn't do anything worthy of
Yeah.
getting smallest stick of the year, if NJ's making the thread, he's going to put him up there, and he's going to argue for about 2 pages on the thread on why he shouldn't be on
This
there,
is
and
exactly
that
why I
alone will
drafted
justify it.
NJ. NJ's been a pretty fun influence on the Discord for the team so far. Like behind the scenes.
I don't know. I
Um,
feel his trolling hasn't exactly been vintage over the past couple of weeks, so I'll be looking for him to step it up. I'm sure.
Alright.
I'm sure he'll be able to deliver this season. But
Let's wrap up this show. One question: who will win the cup, D1 and D2?
I'm gonna back our own team. I'm gonna say Staplers for Div 1.
There it
For
is.
Div 2. Div 2. That's hard. I don't know. I'm gonna give a nod to the Stoners. I think they might
My boy.
pull off a little bit of a surprise.
Frizzle, what say you?
I'm going with the Stoners. They just need to get a forward, and they're good. Oh wait, they have Crumbler. Never mind, they're fine.
Yeah, they have a team.
Okay. Yeah, the Stoners. D1. I mean, right now the favorites look like the Squares, right?
Yeah. Yep. But then again, they are also the squares.
Yeah.
So...
It absolutely amazes me that Hash Browns has only ever managed to win the SB Championship just the once. I mean, I
And
thought
he's probably top 1 in minutes by now. Christ.
I think so. I mean, they're the best team, but they're also not too difficult to play against, I would say. So they're not unbeatable by any means.
So you going with squares with your...
I'm gonna do a preseason pick of the Turtles.
Really?
If they make
Okay.
some trades. I don't
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
know,
let
I
that
honestly-
oh,
slide.
for goodness
You-
sake,
you
half
pick-
the podcast.
I'm
is
gonna
just
make you remember
being-
this. At the end of
Okay.
the season,
you've
I will
been
bring
going,
up this tape.
"Oh."
Oh, can I just pick my
Frizzle
own team,
picks
man?
the
I'll just pick my own
Turtles.
team.
No, it's too late. You've already picked the Turtles
Alright, I'll pick the
to
Turtles.
win the cup over the squares. My
Take-
lord.
I'll take the Turtles.
All right. Okay, I will go with the Spartans. They will get El Diablo to show up. Lindros will sign up like 2 weeks before the deadline, and they win the cup. Prizzle gets benched, maybe even cut, to his chagrin. And he's sat there shit posting like last season as his team maybe goes to the finals and loses, or they win. Who knows? But
Fuck Scott.
my pick is.
Oh, Miles. I'm coming for Miles, man.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Huskies. Count your days until that showdown. Okay, and then D2, I think Pixies choke once again, proving me right and not getting one of their picks. And the Harlem Bike Thieves get Scott Balla out of free agency. Then they have a team of Diego, Chance, Apple, Scott Balla, which memes its way to the finals and wins. Against
No
the
team
Supreme
with Apple-
Sluts,
No
who
team
make it the
with-
finals. which nobody predicted.
No
My
team
boy
with
Glegg,
Apple
2 game-winning
playing.
goals before losing in the final game.
Okay, well,
All
actually,
right.
one more prediction. Who makes the first blockbuster trade? Starting now. The non-test trade doesn't count.
Okay.
Well, Stapler's going to find a way to do it
Oh
somehow.
man, I will
Oh,
find
probably.
a way to make a blockbuster. Watch your butt, dude.
I think it's
I
gonna
mean,
be
it
the
depends who
Turtles.
comes out of waivers, really.
No, Toronto will keep their exact same team all season,
Dude,
guaranteed.
they need to get a GK.
Yas is elite. He wasn't
No, he
allowed to show
isn't,
that.
man.
However, he wasn't allowed
No,
to show
he
that.
isn't.
Trust me, my man. He was really good. Denny was all about him just not too long ago. He won Rookie of the Year over Dan that one season. I think no, maybe he lost. I don't remember. But yeah, they will keep the same team all season. They will make 5th place yet again, and Turtle will have to eat his socks when I pull up the tape. All right.
Oh god.
Let's go for some shout outs. Got shout out to Jeremy Lin.
Shout out to Jeremy Lin.
Frizzle's a cuck. Shout out to Discord.
Shout out to Dab.
Shout out to boy Nilo spamming chat with Natsu symbols and saying I'm ignoring him. Sorry, bruh. Mean it. Rembo Hodash, you have any shout outs? You have any ponies you want to shout out?
Don't know, you're not going to get who this is, but shout out for Tanzim for getting shouted out by his boss for making a bad presentation on his first day at work, so well done there.
All right.
That's a good shout
You
out.
have it.
All right.
Have a
Thanks for
happy
listening, everyone.
season 26.